Right, now you've got the cards arranged in the columns. So this means that you've arranged your cards according to the skills, what you're good at. If we think about, the way that we use our skills, some things we're good at, but we don't particularly like using. For example, I can type quickly, but I don't particularly like typing. And if I could manage without typing, I'd be really happy. I don't drive now, but I used to be able to drive a car quite competently, but I didn't particularly like it. A motorbike. And I wanted to give it up as soon as I could. So there are certain things that we like, we do, and we like doing very much, and there's certain things that we're good at, but don't particularly want to use them. So now we're going to sort out the cards again. You're going to take your things that you're very good at. Find the skills that you're very competent in comparison with your own skills, and choose amongst those that you want to use a lot of the time, or most of the time, those that you want to use sometimes, and those that you want to use very little. Okay? Those that you want to use a lot of the time, those that you want to use sometimes, and those that you want to use a little. So we've got making these 3 columns now. Here's for using a lot, using sometimes, using a little. So I'm going to take these here and sort them into these 3 columns. So memorizing numbers, nope, I don't want to do that very much. Manipulating numbers rapidly, as in mental arithmetic, nope. Reading for ideas, great, I like it very much. So we'll divide the whole lot into these 3 columns. So now you've sorted the skills into 2 sets. First of all, according to which you're very competent, adequate, undeveloped. And now you've taken the skills very competent, and you sorted those out according to whether you want to use them a lot of the time, most of the time, some of the time, don't particularly want to use. So this group here, the skills that you're very competent and you want to use a lot of the time, these are things that you love to be good at. You're good at them and you like doing them. You love to be good at them. So these are the skills that if you can work in this area as much as possible, you're likely to be enthusiastic and you're likely to be successful. So it's really important. Note these down. Note down the skills where things that you love to be good at. Have a look at those skills and see if you can see what would be an ideal occupation. It doesn't matter if it's a conventional job or not, but what sort of occupation or engagement would engage all of those skills or talents, things that you love to be good at. Okay. We've been looking at how to develop the positive sides, positive aspects of ourselves, our abilities, our talents, values, our identity. Now, this is one aspect of the process of self-development. There's another aspect as well, because we're carrying baggage with us. We have unwanted things, unwanted habits, unwanted activities, unwanted beliefs and values. And we need to be able to deal with those as well. It's difficult because we're used to being laughed at, ridiculed, or rejected for even admitting that we have some faults. So, in order to... and the consequence of that is, because we can't talk about these things to others, very often we don't even understand it ourselves. In order to bring this out, we really need to be able to share confidentially. And this is the basis of so many remedial therapeutic processes where you're sharing either with a therapist or sharing in a group. First thing about the group is that there has to be confidentiality, absolute confidentiality. And we agreed on that at the beginning of when we came into the group. Confidentiality is one thing, and another thing is that I have to be sure that if I open myself up, I'm not going to be rejected by the group. So on the one hand, it has to be a mood of acceptance in the group, and on the other hand, trust. How's this going to happen? Well, there's a very simple principle. That what we share in a space which is sacred to self-development, in a group of people who are there for a common purpose and who are accepting, what we share in that group will actually help us to become free from our hang-ups, our habits and addictions. What's the difference between a habit and an addiction? We all have habits. For example, I might have a habit of getting up late. But with a reasonable amount of rearrangement of my life or will, then I can change that. That's a habit. But then I might be addicted to something. I might have substance abuse. For example, addiction to cigarettes, alcohol, or it might be I might have an addictive, a compulsive trait in my relationships with others. For example, some people, they have to control. It's kind of a control addiction. Other people, the opposite. They just give in. All they want is approval. This is also another kind of addiction. So, in order to get free from these things, there's two things are necessary. Two activities are necessary. First of all, we have to identify what it is that we want to get free from. That means that we have to see there's a part of what I'm doing, a part of how I see myself at the moment, that I don't really want. In other words, at the moment it's part of myself, the way that I'm doing things, but I don't want it to be part of myself. It's a habit, it's an addiction, it's a belief that I want to get rid of. In other words, I want to get it from here, where it's strongly and firmly a part of myself, get it out here and then get rid of it. But by myself, I'm unable to do that. So sacred space sharing, it brings in other power. It brings in the power of the divine, and it brings in the power of prayers and blessings from the other members of the group. And both of these are very, very powerful. So sacred space sharing, very, very simple. Sitting in a group and just so that it doesn't take so long, everybody gets a reasonable proportion of airtime. We'll have small groups, about 4 or 5 members. And each person will share just where they're at, what's on their mind, what's very important issues for them. They may be positive, or they may be negative. There may be things that they want to get rid of, or there may be things that they want to affirm. But it's an open, honest expression within that space. Everybody else is just going to listen, not only listen, but attend and give positive regard. And then we'll take it in turns to express ourselves in that space. And when we do this, by identifying what it is, what are the essential issues, especially with becoming free from unwanted things, identifying what these unwanted things are, and then disidentifying from them by sharing them in the space, by making myself open to the power of the divine, the healing power of the divine, and the blessings and prayers of others. Having identified this, I'll be able to disidentify from it. Its hold will be loosened. It's like going into a washing machine and it gets taken out by the sacred healing power of being in this particular group. So this is sacred space sharing. You get in groups, 4, 5, and take it in turns to express openly and trusting that the group will accept and the members of the group are going to listen. Unconditional positive regard and acceptance. Okay.